Let's take a look at this Bunny Boiler's statement. She is from the Israeli Citizen spokesperson. She is the spokesperson from that office. Her name is Ruth Weserman. Take a listen.
There are reports that a hostage deal with Hamas is close. Until there is an official announcement, we are left with unverified reports, heart-wrenching rumors, and a very long list of concerns regarding the potential last-minute manipulations of designated terrorists. The entire people of Israel are on their feet. Why? Because we sanctify life. We owe it to our brothers and sisters to bring them out. And because we are humane.
Okay, so let me laugh a little bit. We sanctify life. We are humane. Oh my God, LOL. I mean, what in the world can make me look like laughing out loud? I don't know. What kind of facial expression I can make? I don't know how else to do it. We are humane. We sanctify life after killing over 200,000 Palestinians, committing genocide. When the blood is still fresh on your hands, you are saying you sanctify life. This is your sanctification of life. And after torturing, killing, raping, abusing the Palestinians, both inside Gaza and also in the Israeli prisons, you're talking about how humane you are. Oh my God! I mean, okay. So let's. I'm just losing it. Sorry.
Decent, moral. This is not our weakness, but our strength. We also owe our sons, brothers, fathers, and uncles, as well as our female combatants, the honor of not giving in to the hideous, inhumane Hamas terrorists.
Normally, I don't show the middle finger because this is not very decent, but today I just want to make an exception and do this. Yeah, the middle finger. Everything you say, everything.
We shall find the way in which to do both. Maintain our moral integrity and stop the suffering of our brethren in captivity, but to also make our immoral enemy regret the day that they had decided to rape, murder, massacre, burn, carnage, and kidnap our people.
Okay, so every accusation is a confession. She is giving us a very good example of that, of the Zionist. Every accusation is a confession. Everything she just said from that filthy mouth, she will open that in a second, right? You will open it, right? Is a confession, guys, is a confession. Because we know from our own life experience, when we accuse other people, most of the time, it is something that we have done ourselves. Otherwise, we would not be rushing to label people with this, with that, calling them out, telling them you're terrorists, calling them you guys are liars. Normally, decent people, they don't do this. Obviously, there are exceptional situations. For example, in this one, the Zionists, they are liars. And this is an established fact. But when you go around and accuse other people randomly, people who did not do anything to you, people whom you have evicted from their lands, you stole their lands, that's when you actually confess, when you accuse them. Because here you are the aggressor. So everything you say about them, everything that you accuse them with, is something that you have done yourself. This is what is happening with this filthy mouth, with this lady. She is confessing all the crimes they have committed against the Palestinians from 1947 up until now. She's confessing every single one of them, and you know why? Because of the Gaza ceasefire deal. Because they have seen the strength of the people of Gaza. They are now coming out with desperation that these people, the Gazans, are bad people. Guys, the whole world, you agree with us, right? These are bad people because they failed. They were defeated in Gaza militarily. Now they're using their tongue. These monsters, they're now using their tongue, even though they will fail, and I'm here to fail them again. But this time they have spent actually 150 million dollar, or they will allocate $150 million from the Netanyahu government, coming from US, obviously, because their economy is dead. Israel's economy is gone, is wiped out, is done deal. No tourists going there. The people in their country are leaving. They are spending $150 million for the propaganda war. This is why we have to be here every time they speak, to actually expose them.
You know, we are being blackmailed into releasing tomorrow's hostage takers.
How you are blackmailed? How you are blackmailed? Why would you even negotiate with your terrorists? This is what they call them. Anybody stand up against Israel terrorists. Why would you be blackmailed when you had billions and trillions of dollars, the biggest military, the most powerful military support from US and also from UK and from European countries? How come you still manage to be blackmailed yourself by this small group of 25 or 20,000 fighters? How is that even possible? How ridiculous, what kind of a defeat, what kind of a shame this is for the Zionist state and for US and for UK and for all those countries that supported your cause, your evil ideology, your evil goals, your evil propagandas. How can you be blackmailed? How does it even make sense that this much money that we are getting and this much of media coverage we are getting, the Western media never show their weaknesses. They never tell people about their losses. The Zionists, they have a gag order, in fact, in their country against media reporting. They banned Al Jazeera. How can then they still be blackmailed? What kind of a lunatic? Unbelievable. She thinks this Bunny Border thinks we are a bunch of foolish people sitting here listening to what she has to say and not react. I mean, we should not be outraged at this point. We should be laughing. They have becoming a laughing stock. Spare yourself, spare your energy. Don't put your energy in thinking how pathetic they are. Just laugh. Have a good laugh. Enjoy your life. Cup of coffee. And listen to these monsters, these maniacs, and just enjoy your life. And know that if you need some entertainment, listen to this kind of morons, Ruth Weserman, and then you will feel much better. If you're going through some kind of sadness, depression, I'm telling you, listen to this kind of nonsense.
To get back today's hostages. You see the indecency in pressing Israel to make concessions for getting our people back is inconceivable. You in the international arena who support that need to comprehend that you are setting a precedent, not only for the future attempts by the same and similar enemies to kidnap more civilians and soldiers here in Israel, but for our mutual enemies to kidnap your people, your soldiers, your fortresses, your schools, your streets, your democratic Western institutions. The infiltration has already begun.
Okay, nobody is infiltrating anything. You moron. Nobody is saying because of this pro-Palestinians we feel less safer. Nobody is saying these pro-Palestinians are terrorists. The only entities who are banning and labeling this kind of movement, pro-Palestine, pro-humanity, are those few selected Zionist governments, i.e. Germany, i.e. UK, i.e. United States. But people, you ask any of the people from these countries, do you feel less safer because of the pro-Palestinians? Do you feel less safer because of a Muslim or a non-Muslim wearing a bandera? Do you feel less safer because of them? Or do you feel because somehow Zionists are creeping into your country, into your government? What makes you terrified? You, Ruth, I'm challenging you, Ruth. Ask those people from those countries, not the government, and they will give you how they feel the answer with all honesty. Just ask those people. Don't confine yourself in that kind of bubble, in this kind of government bubble where you just stand in front of a camera and read from a teleprompter and giving us a lecture about Israel.
Hamas is demanding we release murderers from prison. What they aspire to do is to regroup and prepare for the next October 7th, funded by those who support Sunni radical Islam, Qatar, Turkey, and more, now that the Shiite axis has been somewhat weakened. One way or another, our hostages must come home, and we can never allow radicals to take new hostages, to spread their deadly ideology, to continue to indoctrinate their youth with hatred. The backers of radical Islam like Qatar, Turkey, Iran, and their cronies must be held to account.
Okay, so now basically they are blaming Turkey, Qatar, Iran for their failure with 20,000, 25,000 fighters that they have fought and lost the battle and lost this whole propaganda war. They're blaming other people. This is a classical example of someone who is a narcissist. Israel is a narcissist country. They never take responsibility. They always blame other people for their failure. They could not defeat a small group of fighters, resistance fighters, and now who they can blame? Well, Turkey, Qatar, they were there. They were, airdropping aids and weapons and ammunition to Hamas. When it was US, UK, France, Germany, all of these countries, Canada, dropping aids and shipping bombs, in huge quantities. Israel was receiving those weapons from these Western countries every single week and every single day. It was now Turkey, Iran, and Qatar who to be blamed. They supported Hamas. Look at them. We were not supported by anybody. We were just so poor, helpless. Oh my God, the whole world was crushing down on us. Unbelievable, pathetic, and very, very, again, laughing. And I just want to have a good time with her.
They blocked life-saving aid to hostages. They allowed Hamas to keep our hostages for 467 days and counting.
467 days of genocide and counting. They are not done. Don't fool yourself. Don't be naive thinking this is over. Israel is still going to bomb Gaza. They're still going to continue this genocide. They're still going to continue. They don't care about international law. They don't care about ceasefire. Just like they did not care what they did with Lebanon, with Hezbollah. They don't care about ceasefire. They're still bombing Lebanon. 467 days of genocide. She pointed it out right. She's 100% right with the number of the days that she and her government is committing genocide. How she flips it? Well, 467 days. Our hostages are being held captive in Gaza. Oh my God. And in those 467 days, you have managed to kill over 200,000 people. This woman, this bunny baller is just pathetic, beyond pathetic.
Tried to tie Israel's hands so that it couldn't stop Hamas from attacking. They are behind this Hamas blackmail and are doing whatever they can to ensure that Israel does not defeat Hamas today. But they do everything I just said in Canada, in the US, in Europe, Australia, and elsewhere too. They try to also do it in Egypt, Jordan, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia. But in those countries, they are outlawed. When will the world wake up? When will it be too late? When enough Canadian grandmothers will, God forbid, be killed? When hundreds of thousands...
I don't know how she came up with this example. Canadian grandmother feels safe, will not be killed. Come on, use something better. Canadian grandmother don't give a damn. They are all pro-Palestinian, by the way, guys. A lot of the Canadian grandmother, I was in Canada. I know these people. I'm a Canadian myself. I know that they don't like Israel, except for a few who are mentally challenged. Yeah, these people are retard maniacs. But I can promise you 99.99% Canadian grandmother, they support the Palestinians. You just go on social media and you'll see for yourself. But again, what kind of example is that? Canadian grandmother will be afraid they will get killed by pro-Palestinians? Wow.
Of more European women will be afraid to walk alone in the streets of London, Paris, and Berlin.
Oh my God.
When will enough be enough? What are the terms currently being discussed? A government source said that the deal is based on the May 27, 2024 proposal. But we are talking about freeing more hostages. In the first phase, 33 hostages are supposed to be freed from Hamas terror dungeons. It was 34, but the remains of one were found, and he had not been alive for some time. We should take everything Hamas says with many grains of salt. You see, Israel's troops are meant to begin a staged withdrawal out of the Gaza Strip while keeping some kind of a presence on the Egyptian-Gaza border, the Philadelphia corridor. Hundreds to thousands of the worst convicted terrorists will be released from prison. These are people behind the most heinous murders of innocents, absolutely drenched in their blood. This stage should last about 42 days. The second phase is meant to begin on day 16, with talks on releasing more hostages, and Israel's troops will leave more of the Gaza Strip. Gazans will be allowed to return to the Strip's northernmost parts. The Hamas is insistent on this. I wonder why.
What? Why would you be wondering why? I don't know. What kind of woman is she? People from northern Gaza are going back to northern Gaza. Do you want them to go to southern Gaza where they don't belong to, or in the middle of Gaza? I mean, people are going back to their country, their places, to their birthplace, and she's wondering why. Why? Oh my God. This is the most funny thing I'm hearing today.
I'm reminding everyone, just in case you had forgotten, that the northernmost part of the Gaza Strip is in fact the closest to the Israeli border villages, which were carnaged on October 7th. In the third phase, all hostages or their remains will be returned to Israel. Israel's troops will completely exit the Gaza Strip, including the Egyptian-Gazan border, the Philadelphia corridor.
So everything she said was agreed on in this deal is a complete defeat for Israel. None of these things that were agreed on, in this deal was what Israel wanted. None of those things, one single thing that she mentioned that Israel agreed, is not what Israel wanted from day one. So they are being completely, utterly defeated. This is the biggest humiliation in their history. And I do not know how else to put it. They never wanted to leave Philadelphia corridor. They never wanted to leave northern Gaza. They never wanted to return this, as she said, thousands of the Palestinian hostages back to Palestine. They never wanted to do any of these things, and they have agreed to all of this.
They must come home, but the Hamas will pay for their sins.
Yeah, you better be careful about your sins, your atrocities, your crimes, because you will get arrested. I mean, Ruth, this woman, if you see in your neighborhood running or jogging, or in the grocery store, if you happen to see her, arrest her, call the police, because these people are getting chased away from many countries these days, from Brazil, from Thailand, from Sri Lanka, from Argentina, from South Africa. So you better be careful about your sins. Don't come and tell us how the Hamas should be careful about their sin. They're not getting arrested anywhere because they didn't commit any crime. You did. So you will be paying for your sins in this life and also in the hereafter. So I don't know how else to tell this lady that she really needs to wake up. Thank you guys for all your comments. Lovely Dove. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Take care.